That's
be
the way,
wrong. Like,
the best way to preach is by action, and now you're taking that action.
yeah, I want
So
to.
let's talk about the new action. We got the new album.
Sure.
When did you start working on it?
Officially, probably like 3 months ago, or 2 months ago, or whenever.
The song
Lewis
you showed
came
us?
downstairs. Yeah,
That
Lewis
was
came,
just 3 months ago?
You gotta understand. Lewis came downstairs and was like, "Yo, you now are making the huge chunk majority off your own music. Like, maybe we could get back." I was like, and then I started just cooking because it was like, oh my gosh.
That's insane you made that in that quick of a time.
And what's so much fun and so exciting is like I've picked up so much in 6 years. My taste has changed completely. What I'm into, what I'm not into, what I think is really cool and what I think is not cool, what is tasteful to me, or all that different stuff. And I was saying to you yesterday, it's like I feel like for 6 years I've been in the gym just crafting product and making song for the
hyperbolic
intro
time chamber.
Exactly. Oh my god, that's so good. I just nerded. I was about to get nerdy quick. Yeah, exactly. It felt like that. It felt like that way. And then I was blessed enough to get the product that I was working on and the shoe that I was working on. The best athletes in the world were wearing the shoe. It's like, and then you get to see in real time what works and what doesn't, and where culture's at and whatever. So it's just an exciting landscape to be like, and now no one's gonna tell me shit, and I could keep my head high knowing that the work I'm putting in for my family, I'll be compensated properly for it. That's a huge factor. It's like, well, even though you're getting 90, you should have kept working. You weren't getting 90% of your contract. You should have. If it's not about the money, why didn't you just keep working on it? It's like, well, to say that I don't care at all about making money off of what I'm working on very hard for and dedicating my whole life to is silly to say that, like, I don't care about that.
Well,
So
even
it's
if it has nothing to do with money, take money out of the equation. I don't think anybody could go into work knowing that the people that they're working with them are open-mindedly screwing them.
Exactly.
It's just
Exactly,
weird.
exactly.
It's you don't want to. It's like a marriage. If I'm with my girl, like, yo, I love my girl, but she cheats on me. What am I doing here?
Exactly. And there's a flavor too that I want to make sure I'm like putting my stake in the ground in as well. This is also the norm of the industry, and these people are trying to make livings. And the more compassion I have around the situation is like, I don't necessarily even think that they were like had fangs and they were like trying to screw me over, but like maybe some of them are willingly doing that, and that makes me angry. That would make me whatever. But like, you know, they're just, everyone's just going off the norm. It just so happens that the norm in this industry for writers and producers and creatives is just so stupid. It's the dumbest. You know who's super poignant to speaking about this? Russ. Russ is. I've never met him, never had a conversation with him. I know nothing about him, but from the distance, I've seen things when I'm like scrolling YouTube on my TV because I don't have the app because you were making fun of me for it. But he pops up and he's talking about this stuff, and I'm like, there we go. Like,
Love
you
Russ.
wonder why he's a little crabby. Like, you wonder why he's a little crabby. He's got a little bit of an attitude about what he's saying. He's like, he's trying to shake the shit out of somebody to be like, hey, oh, it could be different. Wake up.
But you know what's even cooler though? When you could do it without any bitterness. Check this out. If I got it, but then I'm giving the information to read so he doesn't get that pain, he doesn't want to hear me if I'm just bitter because I'm ruining his dream.
Totally. Here's the wisdom.
I don't want to
take
hear
the gem.
that,
Take the
right?
gem. Absolutely. Absolutely.
But that's why God
Fire,
says when
fire,
they hit you on this cheek, you give them the other one. Nothing is more intimidating to a man than when you hit him and you're like, oh, that's it?
Absolutely.
So when you go, oh, you guys are messing with me here, you're taking advantage of me here, that's cool. If that's how you guys want to go about it,
Yep.
that's totally fine. I'm going to call you out on it. And when I leave, I'm going to give you guys grace to hopefully you guys can learn better.
I think if I would have made an album after me finding all this out and tried to push through, it would have been that. It would have been a whole other reasoning for doing it. Now the stuff I'm making, I'm like, thank God I waited 6 years to get to some degree, my spirit more correct than it was before.
Yeah.
Thank God I'm coming from a different place of gratefulness and whatever, because then the music now really reflects that. And it's like, if I can give people gems, it's great, in real time. If I can give people gems on this album to some degree of a man who's been through it, but isn't just covered in bitterness, you're going to receive wisdom in a palatable, edible way that will edify a lot of people. And that's what I hope. That's what I hope the music does. That's real.
When you go to war and you go back to your corner after you're just fighting, my coach is God, right? And I go to the coach, and in my mind, I'm thinking coach is going to be like, yeah, they're wrong. They got to do this because I'm like, yo, look at them. Look at them. But you know what God always does to me? He goes, go look in the mirror. If you're not winning the war, it's you. It's not them.
Whoa.
And I go, okay, well, what does that mean? He goes, well, you have limitless everything. I am with you. I could walk on water and bring you back to life if you're dead. You have literally the impossible in your right hand. If you're failing, it's because it's you.
Yep.
It's not them.
Yep.
It's not the demons. It's not like, oh, God's not powerful enough to take this demon. You know what I think of is when we're at the park and like, we're just all children. But we think God is on our level, so he's also scared in the situation. But God's like watching us at the park when a little boy's at a park and he sees a dog, but in his eyes he sees a lion.
Yeah.
And it's all this stuff. But God's in your father's not even getting up because he's like, the worst he's gonna do is lick you. But from your perspective, you're like, this thing is gonna devour me. It's gonna eat me. It's gonna shred me. I can't stand before this monster. Yeah. And then it licks you.
Yep.
And then you were like, oh, no wonder God wasn't freaking out with me.
Exactly.
Because he knew what's going on.
Well said.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
How would you describe, so your new songs, how would you describe the stories that you're telling and what those mean to you? Or if you could,
Yeah.
Could you we want to talk about the music, but we also don't know if we're allowed to. Or...
Is it like
we
a
could
story
dabble.
for each one, or
We could
how would
dabble.
you describe it?
I don't know when I'm going to put it out or whatever because I don't have to answer anybody to put it out.
Well, you have a little time because I have it, so I'll put that shit out if you don't.
Exactly. It's very much like I'm talking to myself in real time. There's a character that keeps popping up in the album, and it's like the younger version of me that's like doing these little like moments and these things where it looks like a feature, but it's not really a feature. It's just kind of like young me in a sense. And they're all like mantras and little palettes and things of like, even for me, usually I'm more of a, like, you know exactly what's going on kind of writer. Like I'm very much painting the picture. But in this one, the perspectives are changing at all times. Like certain verses, I'm like, this is me talking to God. This is me talking to myself. This is me talking to a friend. But I'm never saying, hey, my friend, I'm talking to you now. There are all these weird vignettes of these moments of things that I think when people just experience them on a visceral level, you'll get this like primordial, deeper sense of like listening to something. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, I'm excited about how free it is. It's very, it feels free. I don't even care if it's a hit, if it's not a hit. I can stand on business because I'll be like, if it's not your cup of tea, that's great. I'm into this shit. And I'm getting paid off of it because I have my contracts right. So now I don't even have to worry about like some giant scope of people enjoying it because I don't have to go crazy in order for it to be successful.
Boom. But this is why it's successful. Do you get what I'm saying? Like when we were listening to
it makes
this,
the
I was
product
like,
better.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Bro, I came back from listening to you the first time. I looked at them and I go, yo, he ruined music for me, bro. When I was in the gym, I just threw the phone away. I'm not listening to music. I just heard what he just. I'm not playing this other shit, dude. Like this is annoying. Yeah. It's at that level, and
I appreciate that.
And you're at that level because you're like you're not overwhelmed.
Yeah, it's like I can make walls for the Jonas Brothers and do it on SNL and do that whole thing because I've done the thing. I'm happy I stayed in the fight because I've done the thing.
Oh, not yet.
Exactly,
Boom.
exactly. And that's why my heart goes out to young producers, young artists, young writers, or whatever. Is because you just stay in the fight because you got to kind of do the thing. I'm at a different place, and it's like I wouldn't say it's a cheat code because somebody might listen to the music and be like, it's not for me. So I'm not gonna say it's a cheat code, but it's almost unfair because it's like I have no fear of commercial success. I have no fear of my contract, of it being a hit record. All those things are gone because I put through the work and gone through that ringer to have the freedom to make what I want to make. So
You're
right.
grateful.
It's an advantage.
You're in a grateful standpoint.